So you're getting into mechanical keyboards and want to get a budget one with features like Hotswap. Maybe you're just an RGB lover and want a sick keyboard with lights. Regardless of what you're looking for, you're in the perfect place, as the K61 mechanical keyboard is a great option with many cool features. On my previous YC66 keyboard video, some of my viewers brought up the GamaKay K66. From the outside, they're pretty similar other than the low profile design on the K66 and the high profile design on the YC66. I have no idea if these two products are related in any way, but I did notice that the GamaKay, now having changed their brand to GamaKay, recently released a 60% version of this board. Although having dedicated arrow keys is nice, I personally prefer the look of 60% keyboards due to their symmetry. I reached out to Banggood and they were able to send me this keyboard for review, but I was not compensated monetarily in any way, nor did they see my review before I posted it. That being said, I will do my best in trying to give an honest review of this keyboard. If you want to support the channel, please make sure to subscribe and like the video, as it makes review videos like these possible in the future. Only a small percentage of my viewers are actually subscribed, and I want to bring that number up. Also, feel free to check out my Instagram and Discord server, as I often interact with my viewers on those platforms. I'll put links down below in the description. Starting with unboxing, the keyboard comes in the typical brown box that you see in most budget keyboards. If you remember my YC66 box, you will remember the brittle condition that it came in. This is not the case here, and I'm happy about that. The unboxing experience is pretty straightforward too, as you have your manual, pre-assembled keyboard, and a USB-C cable. They offer a variety of Gateron switches with the kit, and I went with Gateron yellow switches, which are often considered the best budget linear switch in the market. One issue that I had right away was that I had a hard time inserting the USB-C cable that came in the box into the keyboard. The protective sleeve on the cable was a bit too thick, making it hard to put into the USB-C port, but I was able to plug in the keyboard using another cable that I normally use. I'm not sure if this is just my unit that has this problem, or if it's just a design flaw. Once I got the keyboard plugged in, you can see its biggest strength, which is its lighting. Just like the other GamaKay keyboards, this keyboard is super bright. Having both the RGB underglow on the acrylic base and the perky lighting makes this keyboard really attractive. Personally, I'm a big fan of the look. If you're new to mechanical keyboards and want to use it without modding anything, this keyboard is ready to go from the unboxing. Here's what it sounds like in its stock form. It sounds okay, but it is a bit scratchy and the stabilizers could also use a bit of work. Since this keyboard is Hotswap, you can easily mod the keyboard by taking off the keycaps and the switches. Like I said earlier, Gateron yellow switches are a great budget switch option and sound pretty good, especially when looped. I'll be using Krytox 205 Grade 0 today to loop these switches. Gateron yellows are still a bit on the scratchy side for a linear switch, but I really like its spring weight. They also offer you other Gateron switches, so you can get other options if you like tactile or clicky switches. Additionally, you can replace the switches with any standard cherry stem switches on this keyboard due to its Hotswap feature. And I also decided to add keyboard switch films to make these switches sound even better. The stabilizers that the keyboard comes with are pre-lubed from the factory, which is nice for those who will be using this keyboard straight out of the box. I wiped the lube off anyways, since I'll be using my own. I started off with the Band-Aid mod to soften the sound of the stabilizer hitting the PCB. Then I clipped the legs off the stem and looped the housing with Krytox 205 Grey Zero and the wires with dielectric grease. I spent a lot of time trying to get these stabilizers to sound good, but plate mount stabilizers are really hard to get right. A lot of the problem comes from the plate being loose on the stabilizers, and there's also only so much you can do with bad stabilizers. I tried adding some fabric tape to secure that, but at the end of the day these stabilizers still had some rattle. So I wanted to replace these stock stabilizers and saw that Durock had some new plate mount stabilizers. Durock is the most popular choice for screw-in stabilizers right now, so I wanted to see if their plate mount stabilizers were any good. I did the same lubing process to these stabilizers, and I have to say, although it isn't perfect as I want them to be, it was a big improvement. I think that the keycaps that comes with this keyboard is pretty good. Even though they are ABS, you can feel right away that they aren't cheap like the ones you find on typical gaming keyboards. However, since this keyboard's biggest strength is its lighting, it seemed like a no-brainer to get pudding keycaps for it. I figured that a majority of the people buying this keyboard will eventually get this set anyways, and I wanted to see how bright it would look with them. Since I gave all my pudding keycaps that I previously had to my brother, I went ahead and purchased another one from Amazon. There are so many options now other than the HyperX ones, and they all seem to be around the same quality and price. So what do I think about this keyboard? For the price of $65, I think you're getting a really good deal for a complete keyboard that you can easily mod due to its Hotswap feature. There aren't many other Hotswap keyboards that I can think of that can compete with this price, and the only one that comes to my mind is the GK61. I think among the two, I prefer the K61 due to its looks. I'm a big fan of both the RGB underglow and perky lighting that this keyboard offers. Especially with putting keycaps on them, this keyboard is super pretty. The downsides for me are probably the stabilizers, which aren't the best, but you can easily replace them like I did. In addition, the keyboard does not have programmability, so you're stuck with the default key mapping. If this is something that bothers you, try looking elsewhere. Other than that, this keyboard is a great value at $65 as you get a complete keyboard and not just a DIY kit. It sounds pretty good when modded as well due to its acrylic case, and I'm happy with how it turned out. I want to thank Banggood once again for sending this keyboard out for review, and I also want to thank viewers like you if you made it this far. If you enjoyed today's video, please consider liking the video and subscribing, as I make a lot of videos like this one on my channel that you don't want to miss. Until next time, stay safe and take care.